Okay, so welcome to the third Real Deal. Some real men sharing our real stories about Plexus, how it's helped us, how it's helped our health or our family's health, our wives, our children, etc., or how it's helped us financially. Maybe the business has been a big help. I think all of us have been really helped by the products and the business. So I'm looking forward to hearing the stories from our guys tonight. I've heard Peter and Wes's stories already, pretty cool. And I've heard John's wife's story, so I'm looking forward to his version of the story tonight. So welcome, everybody. My name is Andrew Siebert, forgot to say that. I am a Gold Ambassador, and my wife is a Ruby. She went Ruby about 2 months ago, so that was pretty exciting to reach that milestone. And what else here? So I think I'll pass it over to Peter. I live in northern Alberta, and Peter lives basically, I think, as far north as I do, just west of us. So, yeah. Peter, please share your story.
So I live in High Prairie, Alberta, and I just wanted to share a little bit why I am where I am and why I'm so excited about sharing this here with these other cool guys. So what happened is several years ago, we were having some major health issues, and also we were noticing that Wes and Sherry were doing something, and we were concerned about being left out. So why should we be left out on something if they do something that's successful? So there's that. And for me, my personal health was going downhill, and also our marriage, we were having some struggles. So why should we look at that? Well, there's a few things, and sadly we became desperate. I don't wish that on anybody. I wish people would just look at and give something a try before they become desperate like we were. And so from a health perspective, we saw that we needed to do something, and we started this because Wes and Jerry said, you can try this out. It's helped other people. And we were like, okay, we'll do that. After, I think, about a year, they were telling us, and they didn't push us, they just shared and said, hey, if this is something you want, you can try it. So I respect that. And they gave us our space, our freedom. And when we finally became desperate enough, they were there to help us out. And so that's where we started out there. It became a little more real to me when I went to Edmonton, and I got to connect with I think it's about 70 other people, and what they hear their stories and realize, you know what, this is not just about us, because we were seeing some changes. Like for us, our marriage, it was just a wow. Balancing insulin and definitely affects your hormones, and it affects your blood sugar, which affects a lot of things. So we're seeing some huge changes in our marriage. After about 3 months, I noticed a big change in the discomfort levels I was having, and I was not looking real. I realized anyways that I didn't necessarily need to look for a new job because I felt I was falling apart so fast. It started slowing down, and I was excited about that. So that's a huge thing. And also around the similar time, we were going to go to our first convention in Las Vegas, and just before I went there, I lost my job. So I realized, financially we need something that can change and support our family. And I looked at it and I realized, you know what, this can support our family financially. So we prayed about it. We worked very hard, and I had about a year where I was unemployed, and we saw some big steps and a privilege of quite a bit of money coming in and paying for things and paying for our health products very quickly. That was exciting to see that. And then we didn't replace my income right away, and I did get another job. I'm an electrician, so it's a good paying job. But I was excited to see that Brianna was making a substantial amount, and it keeps on growing, and that's exciting. Because it doesn't matter how many hours I work, I only get paid for every hour I work. Whereas a residual income, which is what Brianna is, if she's sick, which she has had some pretty severe morning sickness and not able to do much, but she's still getting a paycheck. And it's sort of like, huh? Okay. Whereas me, if I don't go to work, I'm not going to get a paycheck. I realized also I do have a new job, but work is not secure. Whereas building up a residual income with a business like that, the skills and personal development I'm learning is invaluable, and having a income that keeps coming in is just wow. It's life changing. Brianna has been successful. She's almost paid off a travel trailer. So she's paying for her products. She's almost paid off a travel trailer that we bought this summer. So we bought it in June and it's almost paid off. She's paid for 2 trips to Vegas and 2 trips to Orlando for us. So we're getting paid to have fun. You can't get much better than that, except for John and Wes. John knows about going to Hawaii, and Wes will find out. So getting paid to go to Hawaii, well, that's a one up on us. I'm looking forward to that. So I'm just so excited that instead of having discouragement and financial lack of hope and not being able to afford a mortgage or vehicles and all this sort of thing, to actually look up that, hey, I'm making good money as an electrician, but Brianna's adding huge amount financially to our family. And then we get all the health benefits alongside. And the thing I'm excited about is I get to help other people on their health journey and financially. It's not just a selfish thing for me. It's a serving others. It's a personal growth. It's growing as a leader for both of us tremendously. And it's an education. We get to learn about health. So you can never go wrong with learning. So there's an old saying, if you aren't learning, you're dying. So I might as well learn. So I'm excited that I have hope and a future, whereas before I had lost that. So that's what I just wanted to share, is why I'm excited to be here and why I want to keep going, is because there's a future and there's a hope. So thank you, Andrew.
That's really cool. Yes, Wes. Thumbs up. I love how it's helped you guys for your health and just to be able to function and to function in life. That's really awesome. And to have that hope that you will be able to replace your income and even go beyond that. That's really, really cool. I love the hope that Plexus gives. This business opportunity is really cool. And the personal growth, like we're learning lots about ourselves and about business and just growing. It's really good. So thank you. Wes, you're up next, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Hey there, Andrew. Yeah, so good to hear your story, Peter. It's been pretty cool to watch you over the last, 3 years now? 2.5 years? It's been a cool journey you guys have been on. Yeah, so Sherry and I, my wife and I, started Plexus about 4.5 years ago. And at that time, well, just prior to that, I guess 7 years ago or so, I was bit by a tick and managed to inherit a disease that ticks tend to carry. And it wasn't until about 2.5 years later that my health had been going downhill pretty bad. And my wife started looking around for some supplements or something to give me a hand with my health and try to get my health back on track. And at that time, I was suffering from a lot of discomfort in my joints, old injuries. My hockey injury had come back to haunt me. At that time, I hadn't any riding injuries. Since then, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I had a lot of brain fog, a lot of bloating, feel in my gut. What I would call phantom pain would come and go. Those are some of the big ones. Anyway, we started taking them, and about 6 months in, I noticed it was a huge milestone for us there. I was working on a ranch at that time, and those days when we go to town, would be once every 2 weeks. I'd be working 12 days on, and then I'd get 2 days off. And so we'd go to town one of those 2 days off and get restocked for the next batch of days at work. And those days generally were about 10 hours. And by the end of the day, I'd just be feeling claustrophobic, get me out of town. I'm exhausted. Let's hurry up, get everything done so we can go home, because I got another, 2 weeks of work to do again. And we were on our way home this one time, and we had heard that some friends of ours from up north had come down to visit some other friends that live close to us. I said, "Hey, Sherry, we should go over after we unpack and go visit these folks." And Sherry says, "What? Where'd you get the energy for that?" And, we kind of stopped to go, wow, things have really changed. Up to that time, there'd been small improvements, and you don't really notice improvements so well when they happen bit by bit, But then that was a big milestone, because we realized how much my energy, how much my health had come in 6 months. So it does take time. The products have been amazing for us. It's changed my life 180 degrees from what it was. I sleep well at night now. No brain fog. My gut is world's difference now. Healthy. I get sick maybe once every couple of years. I shouldn't say that. Maybe once a year I'll get sick with something. So health-wise, things have been really good for us. Same as our family, my kids, my wife. We started working the business from the first when we signed up. We signed up as ambassadors right away and started working the business bit by bit. After the first month, we had our products paid for, and we haven't actually paid for our products from a linear income since. And since then, my wife has gone Emerald in June. So that puts us into 6-figure income annual, as well as what Peter was mentioning, a trip to Hawaii that they sent my wife on, and a guest, which would be me. Because of that, is something you earn. I am personally a gold ambassador with my wife, and this residual income is really something to be looking for. The difference between that, linear, you get paid for every hour you work. You make $20 an hour or whatever, and you start at zero every day. Every time you get a paycheck, you're starting back at zero. And if you don't work, you don't get paid, pure and simple. That's just how linear income works. With a residual income, you work, just for an example, I'll go out on Monday and pound fence posts, and I get paid for that day. On Tuesday, I can go out and pound fence posts, but I get a bit of income from pounding fence posts on Monday. I go out pounding fence posts on Wednesday, and I get a bit of income from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it kind of builds on itself. The more you work, the bigger your residual income can grow. It's a pretty cool way of doing it. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it definitely takes work, but it's definitely the better way to go. If you look up residual income versus linear, you Google that, you'll get a whole bigger picture of how that works, and just the pros of that and how that works. So I have been at home with my family for the last 2 years, just over 2 years. My wife retired me on Plexus income. So Plexus currently pays all our bills. And like I said, my wife went Emerald. So that's a 6-figure income. So this is a real business here in Canada. Peter's working hard. He's going to be retired here pretty quick. Andrew, he's heading up there. And I'll let John tell his story. But for us, this business and the products that come with it are life-changing.
Really cool. I still remember just over 2 years ago, I think it was August or July 2016 when you were on our deck. And it was really cool that you had been able to quit your job and you were able to take some time to recover for your health and just the freedom that you had. And now see the pictures of you spending time with your kids and your wife and stuff. Really awesome. So there was something interesting I thought I had this week, that what the best hours of our day who are we giving them to? Are we giving them to our boss, our employment, or are we able to give them to maybe a ministry or our children, our family? Are they getting the leftovers, or are they getting the best that we can give them? So it's a pretty cool opportunity.
And that's, yeah. And just add to that too, this year, because of the Plexus income and not having to work a day job, me and my family were able to go and help out a horse camp up north by High Prairie with my brother. And that was awesome. We were able to spend a full week up there. Didn't have to think about, going back to work or asking for time off. And it was just really cool to be able to take that time and put our time where our priorities were. And that was one of our priorities this summer, was to work at a horse camp. So, I mean, the income, it gives you freedom, right? You don't have to ask for that time off to put your time where you want it. And like you said, Andrew, spending time with my kids and my family, that's where, my kids are only going to be 6 once, right? This year, Jubal's going to be 6. That's it. He's not going to be 6 again. He's not going to be learning the things, these things again next year, hopefully. And I'm here for every step he takes. And we got a little 5-month-old, I'll be there for when she takes her first step and says her first words, right? I mean, these times, you can't get them back, right? So I guess one thing I would say is, why wait until you have grandkids to retire or quit your day job? I'm not talking retirement as in sitting at home twiddling your thumbs doing nothing. I mean, I'm busy. I do day riding because I love it. What my full-time job was, I now do for a hobby, and I take my kids with me because I can, right? So why wait 45 years working for somebody else to enjoy your grandkids, when you could be, learning your own, growing up your own kids and teaching them yourself, right? Why wait? Do it now.
Sounds good. Thank you. John, I'm looking forward to hearing you share with us, please.
Awesome. Well, I'll start off with Wes. It's a pretty good feeling when the wife makes more than we do, eh? Or maybe you had a pretty good income, I'm not sure, but but no, how I got into Plexus was the wife started, and I had some health issues, and I started on that, some respiratory issues. And it's, going on just over 3 years that I've been medication free from any of that. So, I mean, to me, that's worth Plexus all by itself and some. And we, the financial income as well. I mean, we do work our Plexus together, but I am behind the radar. She's more that you'll see her over me, but I'm someplace hiding in the background doing other work. As a husband, there's a lot of things that you can do to support your wife, I think. It's anything from doing dishes, doing errands, all kinds of things that a person can do. It doesn't, for me, I'm not very techy, so it's a lot easier for me to do work from behind the scene. Another thing, I see a lot of people with the job I have, and it's easy for me to take and talk to somebody and explain a little bit of it. But when it comes down to more of the nitty-gritty stuff, I hand it over to the wife, and it's teamwork. There's things that she hands over to me, so that's kind of how we do our business. And then for financially, it's like, we're going to Maui for our second time. And like I say, there's absolutely no fun to that at all. It's just, you have to do it, right? No, actually, Maui has been, I can't even say, we've been to several other places, and just the way this company Plexus treats us and what they do for us, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's something I've never seen before. It's something out of 10 years ago would have never guessed would have ever happened. Like I say, we're going to Maui for the second time. We've been to Leaders Retreat a few times. We've been to, well, we've been quite a few places. The amount that we travel now, like going to different Plexus events, it's incredible. And the stuff and the people and the friends you make is just like, it's over the top. It's like you guys. If it wasn't for Plexus, I don't know if I had met most of you guys. And it's great. I don't know. It's fun to connect and to go out and to go have fun. So,
Cool.
but yeah.
Would you say that you have to live in a highly populated area in order to do a successful Plexus business?
I think if you want to be successful with Plexus, all you need is internet. We do have a little issues with our internet from time to time. We can make do. Anybody can make. We look at some of our upline. They struggle too with internet. Some of them that live a little further out, a little further, I guess, from town or whatever it may be. They have boosters and stuff, but they make it work. And the thing is, they make it work because it pays off. I mean, just look at the income that we have. I look at the stuff that we do. It's just like I would have never dreamt of doing something like that with my wage. It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's really cool that you guys can live in northern Alberta, like a couple hours just barely south of Northwest Territories. There's almost nobody up there, and you can have a thriving, successful business with customers and people in your team all over Canada and the US. And Wes also lives out in the country, a long ways out in the country. Peter, I'm not sure how close to town you are, but it's, you don't have to be in a big city in order to have a good business with it. So that's really cool. Thank you for sharing, John.
thank you. It was an honor.
Cool. So yeah, a couple minutes to share our story. We first started hearing about Plexus in 2014, I believe it was. We had a daughter with major medical health challenges, genetic problems, and heart problems. So we went in for heart surgery for her when she was about 8 months old. And it took about 4 months in hospital for her to recover enough to come home. And we started seeing these stories about Plexus helping people and different stories of helping different things. And at first, we're pretty skeptical. But there was story after story after story and different people and lots of comments underneath saying, yeah, it helped me too. Yeah, it helped me. And for this and this too. And so finally we decided to look into it and got my wife to look into it. And she ordered a couple of the products, and I don't think I was even really expecting actual results. So I was pretty surprised about a month later that we were noticing that it was really helping my wife, especially for emotional stability, with all the stress of being a medical family and a medical daughter and being in hospital and stuff. And we came home and she was still on oxygen and a feeding tube, and so very, very stressful. And my wife was handling that stress much better than she had been before. And she wasn't having the almost every night mini emotional crashes. And she had more energy and just better able to cope. So that was really big for us as a medical family. And so she started a few more of the products, and we started seeing some digestive health issues get a lot better, especially lactose intolerance and sensitivity to beans. So that was pretty cool. So she wanted to start sharing this with people as a business. And it took me a while to get on board. I was all skeptical then for a while, so we still laugh about that I got us into Plexus, and then I I was putting the brakes on for quite a while. But we finally, she kept sharing stories with me, and that's what just did the trick for me. So many stories and explaining why Plexus is helping so many people. Because I'm like, well, how can it help with so many different things? I didn't believe it. So she would explain the importance of blood sugar, how important that is for our health and for our emotions and for our energy levels, how important gut health is to so many different things. So many health issues are connected to our poor gut health. And so because Plexus has really good gut health products, awesome probiotics and stuff, then a lot of those issues see improvement. And then she also explained about inflammation. And I didn't really have any idea about inflammation before that. So she helped me understand how important, how bad that is for our health. And so when Plexus products help reduce inflammation, then a lot of things get better and discomfort levels decrease. So it took me a while, finally got on board. And so we just actually celebrated our 4-year anniversary of taking Plexus products. And we're about 3.5 years into the business. And yeah, pretty cool to see the financial income growing as we help people. That's my heart, is to help people, to help the moms and the dads that are struggling to cope with life because their physical health is so poor. So if we can help them have the physical energy to play with their kids and to do their work and stuff, I love doing that. And we get paid for it. And we like to travel, especially my wife likes to travel. So we've been able to fund some trips. This spring we went to Israel, and that was an amazing trip. And just to have the residual income like several of the other guys have talked about is pretty cool. So I'm very thankful for Plexus products and the business. It is very unique. So do any of you guys have any last comments before we close it off?
I think it's pretty cool. My wife makes more than I ever did.
That's
I think
go ahead.
I'm an electrician, so I'm making just under $50 an hour, which is a good wage, especially with overtime. And I think it's pretty cool that Sherry, Wes's wife, a stay-at-home mom that looks after 4 children and a husband, is now making more money than I am pretty well. So that's cool too. Like it's real money, and yeah, it's changes lives, but just even a little bit does.
Yeah, it's just amazing how blessed we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very much.
Very thankful for that.
Well, yes.
And I think that's part of the personal growth, is coming to terms with that I might not be bringing in the majority of the income, but hey, I'm not complaining. So good. Well, thanks for joining us for sharing, guys, and thanks to everybody that joined to listen. And if you have questions, talk to the person that invited you. We have a one Plexus culture. We're not trying to steal anybody, so go talk to the person that told you about Plexus, and hopefully we'll see you at convention or Hawaii someday. So have a great night. Bye for now.